guys a quick update on the Treasure Hunter fundraiser that we had. As some of you might know, we sold shirts, we sold bumper stickers, we sold paintings that were donated to us. So they were free of charge to the Treasure Hunter Ministry. Well, I'm excited to announce we raised $365. Treasure Hunters have actually prepared a presentation for you on what we're going to do. Because a lot of times you wonder, like, what happens to that money? Where does it go? How can we use it in God's kingdom? So I wanted to show you a video first, and then we'll explain it afterwards.
There's a little flame inside us all. Some shine bright, some shine small. The rains will come and the waters rise, but don't you ever lose your light. In this life you will know love and pain, joy and sorrow. So when it hurts, when times get hard, don't forget whose child you are. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, gonna let it shine. May you live each day with no regret. Make the most of every chance you get. Let your eyes get wide when you look at the stars, with the same sense of wonder as a child's heart. With the ones you love, treasure the time, and for those who are gone, keep their memories alive. Hold on to your dreams, don't ever let go. There's a fire inside you, burn it with hope. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, gonna let it shine.
Might be a little confused because at first it kind of seemed like it was a Treasure Hunter video up there with the light as you let my little light shine, but it actually is a video to show God's kingdom as a whole, the far reaches of it. Because sometimes we get into the mindset that this church right here is all there is, and we forget about all that's out there, all the different churches, all the different ministries. And so part of our series of Into the Wild, we wanted to actually bless other ministries, bless other places, and show the kids that God's light is far-reaching. It's not just here in Phoenix, it's not just here on Van Buren. So if I could get a few of my kids to come up here as volunteers. It was Josette, Ron, Julian, Carlos, and me. So we're going to do something kind of illustrative. We can have the lights turned low. So what we're going to do is we want to bless, if we can actually have all the lights turned off for now. Adon's going to hold it first for us here, and then Pastor's going to light it for us. And so the idea here is that we were blessed as a ministry with the Treasure Hunters. So we can decide to use that blessing and just hold it in for us. Or we can decide to give that blessing out, to give it to other people. So I wanted to call up first to the stage here is Sister Angie. And if you don't know, Sister Angie is part of Raise Our Praise. Woo! So that's going to end. So we wanted to bless Raise Your Praise. If you don't know, Raise Your Praise, all of them are mothers of Treasure Hunter students. So it's pretty neat that that they're all connected in that way. But the other day, we were working back here, we decided that some of the mics weren't working, and it was pretty neat to see the children come around me and kind of help me out, grab cables, and we had about 6 or 7 of them just hanging out right there watching as we try to get these mics working. And we got the idea then that we wanted to bless Raise Your Praise with a microphone.
Oh, amen.
And then the next person I'd like to call up is Sister Anna. So Sister Now, Sister Anna has helped the children out so much. I mean, from the beginning to helping with the leaders. I know she's been a big support to me and has helped me in my ministry as a model of what I want to become. And she is over several ministries here, but one of the ministries she's over, and a lot of us are part of this, is Friday Night Outreach. And this ministry, see, where Treasure Hunters serves the children here and Raise Your Praise, to really get the idea of Raise Your Praise, you have to walk in the doors, right? You have to hear it here. But Friday Night Outreach, it goes off to the streets here. And so the light shines a little bit more. So if we can actually have Julian light Sister Anna's. There we go. And what we wanted to bless Sister Anna on Friday night with was some water here.
Amen.
So, we didn't want to just do one bottle of water. We actually wanted to donate 12 cases of water. So the youth are going to be bringing those in right now. And so,
all right.
Water bottles, and we also bought over 400 plates to bless the Friday night as well. All right, and then the next two I want to bring up is Sister Joe and Sister Yvonne. And they do so much for the children. One thing that they do that is unseen a lot is they actually bring all the food, the snacks, and everything for the children. And I know the children appreciate all that because that's the only time in back there that they're quiet, is while they're eating. And so some of you might not know is that Sister Yvonne and Sister Joe actually also run a ministry outside of the church. They run one that's actually in the whole city of Phoenix here. So now we've gone from inside the church to on the streets out here to all throughout the city. And their ministry is called Servants of the Master. Amen. So that is going to be handing Sister Joe and Sister Yvonne a donation so that they can buy supplies for that ministry.
Amen.
So as you can see, when we give those blessings out, it's not just one candle out there. It's many candles now. The light's getting brighter, right? So now we covered the city and really Arizona, right? But there's other places. One of the places that you saw at the very end is a ministry called Choshen Farms. And it's actually in Zambia. And I wanted to, we can pull up a map of Zambia. I wanted to give you a quick little idea of where the rest of the money is going to be going. Is a lot of like before this, I couldn't point on the map where Zambia was, but now I can because I made it green. Right? So that's Zambia there. Now, Zambia is in Africa. It's home to Victoria Falls, which is one of the wonders of the world. But with all that majesty, with all that wonder, there's still a lot to do there. There's a heavy Christian influence, but the thing is, there's still a lot of tradition. So there's witchcraft, there's all kinds of things that go on. So you have the pastors, you have preachers that are kind of mixing the two. So missionaries go down there to kind of help out. Now, there's one missionary in particular. His name is Jeremy Colvin and his wife Bethany. And they did something that's very Streets of Destiny. Is what they decided to do for the last 4 years is be down there and build relationships with the community first. So they started a farm, and on that farm, they went to rural Zambia. So Zambia has urban areas that has, clean water and so on, but in the rural area, it's the forgotten place. So think of kind of sometimes how we view sometimes our inner cities and things like that. That's where they're going. But they're going to the rural areas of Zambia, where 20%, only 20% have clean water. So think about that. Like we get blessed with water all the time, but they don't have clean water. They go there though and they build relationships first. So they built a farm, they help feed the community, but in the end they just want to laugh, sing, cry with the community, so that way they can build a relationship and tell them about God and refine some of that. So, but to get an idea between Zambia and the United States, I have a few stats for you. So our population is 313 million, theirs is 13 million, okay? Our average age here is 37. So I'm happy I'm still below average. And, in Zambia, their average age is 16. Wow. Their population growth, or ours is 1%, we grow each year. They grow 3%, so they're growing 3 times faster than we are. HIV and AIDS, our prevalence is 0.6%, so less than 1% of our community. We have an HIV problem here, but less than 1% are actually affected with it. They're 13.5% have HIV. Their school life. On average, our kids go 16 years to school. They go 7 years. Our life expectancy is 78. Theirs is 52. Now this one was startling for me, is our average yearly income, I'm happy to say I'm not happy to say I'm below average on this one, is $46,000. Theirs is $380.
Wow.
And just like everything, when we start to dig a little deeper in things, like at first when I started reading about Zambia, I was like, oh, it looks like they're getting up there, they're doing good, they're, compared to other parts of Africa, they're not as bad. But there was some things that started like 7 years. I was like, that's pretty neat, they go 7 years. But I started to read more and watching Jeremy and Bethany Calvin, all their ministries, is that they actually get school up to grade 9 for free, okay? But they have to pay for uniforms, they have to pay for books and stuff like that. So if you're making $380 a year and you're making it from farming and stuff, which is dependent on the droughts, depending on weather, and if the average family size is 7, so you have, say, 5 kids, how are you going to determine which ones go to school, which ones don't, right? So what actually happens is some of those children will actually take time off for years. So imagine we got children up here, imagine Carlos taking off a couple of years to work at his age now, so he can go to school. Now the sad part is the women, the little girls, a lot of times if you got 5 or 6 kids, they're going to send the little boys first and the oldest. So little girls kind of get forgotten, but they want to go to school, so some of them actually resort to prostitution and other things for books. So then you see how HIV, AIDS starts to go even more rampant and stuff like that. So I started digging deeper and deeper into it and finding all these different things, and that's what happened when they went there, is they first went to feed. They thought we could give food, but then they started to see these workers that were working at the farm that they were talking about if they saved all their money and didn't eat, didn't do anything, they could send all their kids to school. So what they created was a tuition where they would actually pay for some of the children in those first 9 years, come alongside them and pay for the rest of that, to pay for books and stuff like that, so the children could continue growing. And also that some of the children could actually keep going after 9th grade and finish up. And studies have been done countless times that education can help solve a lot of those problems. It solves hygiene issues, it solves disease issues, it solves all those things. And so what we decided to do, if we go to the next slide, there's some pictures here. That's just their Christmas card. So you can see the Santa hat there in the middle. And then, so that's Jeremy and Bethany Calvin. And then we go to the next one here. There's Bethany with the child that's there, and they open up their home. That's their small home, is that brick there, but they're rich there compared to other people with that brick house. And then there's Jeremy reading to a child, and it was amazing. I was watching the videos, and I'll have a link on the Treasure Hunter website to their videos, but when I was watching the videos, there's so many things. Like they planted a garden, and they had sunflowers. We had sunflowers in our garden. They showed the children dancing. Our children love to dance. They're always dancing up there. There's always correlations between our children and their children that they serve. And so what we decided to do, and I've talked to the kids about this one-on-one, we talked as a class, and Allie, one of the treasure hunters, I was showing her a video of some of the things that happened there, and she looks at me and she says, you know what, we shouldn't get any of the money, let's send it to Africa. That was amazing. So we wanted to shine our light even brighter, so if I could have Sister Brenda come over here. So even in the distant areas, and so Mia, if you want to come light Sister Brenda's here, she's going to represent Africa for us. is we're actually going to pay for one child there to go through school. So we're donating over $200. All right. They can do that. Good job. So now we see, look at how bright, with all these different ministries, from our church here to far reaches of Africa, these kids, these treasure hunters who so many times are told just to receive, to take in the things, look at what they're giving back. And one thing that hit me so hard was that we raised $365. What else is that? That's 365 days in a year. So it affected me that if I could just put $1 away, look at the different ministries that could be affected. And if as I said, the least of these, if the children who we expect to be the church of the future, not the church of now, if they're reaching out to Africa, if they're reaching out to ministries in here, what can we do as adults? So that's what I want to leave you with, is that we all have that light, and they have a little light, these children, but they're always going to be remembered. I mean, they'll grow up and we don't know what will happen. We don't know what the future holds for them. But this class, this treasure hunter class, made a difference in the world.
Amen. Amen.
So I just challenge you. Pray about it. Pray for the missionaries in Africa. Pray for the ministries you heard about today. And pray for the children, because we don't know who the next missionary, who the next pastor is. That's right. All right. God bless you all. Thank you.